5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 532 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I am your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday, another day here in the arena, guys, as we roll through the middle portion of June. And we're going to get right back to doing what we love to do because it is now wall-to-wall MLB betting. Again, we got the Knicks as the champs. We got the Hurricanes as the champs. NBA, NHL is over. Actually thinking about some NFL win totals. I was looking at a win total last night, guys, that I want to give you guys a little bit of insight to because I was writing about it for the VSiN betting guide, which is coming out, I think, in about a week or so. And I'm actually looking at a team that I've been riding a little bit last couple of years, and I'm expecting them to do pretty well once again. So before I give you that team, just again, reminding you today that we're getting right back to Major League Baseball. So I got 3 bets overall, all 3 moneyline favorites, a couple short ones, a modest one, a little bit more expensive here, but all 3 of them have good, sharp rhythm recommendations with line moves, with splits, with system matches. So we're going to see if we can go 2-1 and eke out a winning night. And speaking of eking out a winning night, and that's why I think it's important to have realistic expectations when you're betting on sports because, again, we know how hard it is and how difficult it is to consistently win at sports betting. Again, you think it's easy when you get into sports betting for the first time. Oh, I'm a fan, so that means I know the sports, I know the players, therefore that's going to translate to me being a really good sports bettor. Well, no, not so much. Betting is a lot different than being a fan. You obviously want to get rid of all your fandom and bet based on what the analytics and what the numbers are telling you, what the betting market is saying, which is the whole point of this podcast, not to bet as a fan, but to bet as a sharp, a data-driven sharp. But the key here is, with realistic expectations, you got to overcome the juice, overcome bad beats. We're betting baseball every day, so bullpen's blowing it or, teams not showing up, whatever the case may be. We got to make sure that we grind out as many 2-1s as we can, knowing that it's difficult to win long-term. But then when you have that realistic expectation, the benefit is that if you go 1-2 or go 0-3, you're in a tough market, so you're not going to get too down on yourself as much as it hurts. But then when you are fighting for a 2-1 and you produce a 3-0 sweep, it makes it that much sweeter. And that's exactly what we did last night. 3-0 plus 2.16 units, a great start to the week. And I would hope maybe, if I'm not looking too much into it, but a good omen for the fact that, NBA, NHL is over when we're focusing on baseball. On the first true only baseball night, we go 3-0. Hopefully that sends a good signal for the rest of the way here. But had a great hit early with the Nationals, 7-3 over Kansas City. They're up. They coughed up the lead, and then their offense just went off late. Cruz, that second overall pick from LSU, hit a homer. So the Nats got a good win for us, 7-3 against the Royals. It was funny. I was watching the Nats game, and as soon as it ended, I just flipped over and saw that the Reds were up 9-0 and then up winning 12-0. So shout out to Pete Rose and the Redlegs. Again, gives me an easy opportunity to tell you the best and shortest joke of all time. Pete Rose sat on attack. Pete Rose. So the ghost of Pete Rose, 12-0 winner with the Reds. Love seeing that. And then the Cardinals, 3-0 winner against San Diego. Dustin May pitched a gem. Obviously, that's painful for me because he was a Red Sox player, and he was terrible. And then he goes to Chaim Bloom and in the Cards and pitches a gem. So that's just the way it goes. Every Red Sox guy that we added, except for Contreras, is stunk, and then every guy we give away is awesome. So go figure there. But at least we got a win there with the Cardinals. By the way, my guy, I want to make sure I give him credit here on Twitter because he is a sharp who always supports the pod. And it is Dermshit, at Dermshit84, my guy. He said, nice sweep, including the run line plays last night, Josh. Stay hot. So, always mention, you want to be a little bit more bold. Opportunity to stack more. But all 3 winners there were by at least 2 runs or more. So, shout out to anyone like our guy, Dermshit84, who went run line. But I'll take a 3-0 plus 2.16 unit night any day of the week. Now, I wanted to mention a win total. So before we get to our MLB best bets for today, I got 3 of them here lined up for you. I just wanted to, wet your whistle, tease you a little bit with some NFL win totals. So I wrote this for the upcoming VSiN NFL betting guide and figured, hey, I just played it. I did my research. I had to pick one. I have an article about how to use bet splits to your advantage. That's going to be in the betting guide as well. But I had one future that I wanted to contribute, and it was the future that made the most sense to me from a data-driven perspective. And that future is the Houston Texans over 9.5 wins. And you can get that at minus 125 at DraftKings. I believe it's minus 120, maybe at BetMGM. Might be able to save 5 cents or so. But here's my write-up on why I'm going with the Texans over 9.5 wins. So, quote, Houston's win total has remained stagnant at 9.5 this offseason, but a closer look at the juice shows liability on the over, as the price has increased from over 9.5 wins, minus 115 juice, to over 9.5 wins, minus 125 juice. This signals smart money leaning toward 10 wins or more, as DraftKings is forcing bettors to pay a more expensive price than what it opened at. The Texans have won at least 10 games in all 3 seasons under head coach DeMeco Ryans, going 10-7 in 2023, 10-7 in 2024, and 12-5 last year. And I'll add, I think they started 0-3 last year. They started rough and really turned it on. Houston plays in a weak division and enjoys the 7th easiest strength of schedule based on their opponent's win percentage from last season, a .474 combined win percentage. Texans boast a ferocious defense, second in the NFL, allowing only 17.3 points per game last year. And they returned nearly every starter from that ferocious defense, and they also added safety Reed Blankenship in free agency to shore up the defensive backfield. Houston's offense should also improve with the return of injured wide receiver Tank Dell. Remember, he missed, I believe, all of last year. And the addition of running back David Montgomery. As bad as C.J. Stroud looked in the playoffs, throwing 4 interceptions in the divisional round loss to the Patriots, he is an experienced starter entering his 4th season and will surely be extra motivated to secure a lucrative contract extension. So you have Stroud in a contract year. So that's my play. Submission to the VSiN betting guide, Texans over 9.5 wins. Again, you're banking on 1, the betting market making you pay a higher price. The juice is rising, so it's like a juiced up over. 2, they've won at least 10 games every year under DeMeco Ryans. 3, easy division, 7th easiest strength of schedule. 4, great defense, added to it with Blankenship, adding Tank Dell and Montgomery, and also their 2 young wide receivers are now going into their 2nd year as well. And I think it's kind of a buy low spot on C.J. Stroud. We're all thinking how terrible he was in that Patriots game. As a Pats fan, I was happy, but Stroud looked awful. So you're kind of buying low on a guy who's probably got something to prove and entering a contract year, because I believe they picked up his 5th year option, but after that, he's technically a free agent. And again, if you're a good QB, you want that huge extension. So that is a little football just to get you excited. I did put in Texans over 9.5 wins. You can get it minus 125 at DraftKings. So a little bit of NFL, which was probably a surprise. I don't know if you expected an NFL win total today, but just want to think about. I'll be rooting and getting excited every time the Texans win a game this year. Let's get at least 10 wins. So with that being said, let's get right back to doing what we love to do, which is betting on Major League Baseball. We're the grinders who love baseball, the crazy people who bet it every day from start to finish. So first bet on the board, 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's go right back to the nation's capital, where the Washington Nationals are hosting the Kansas City Royals. Let's talk line moves, bet split system matches, pitching matchup. I'll give you my play for this one. So the Nats come in 38-35 on the year. They won last night's Interleague Series opener for us 7-3. Came through as a minus 135 home favorite. Rematch for tonight, the Royals, who are 29-44. They're going to go with the righty Michael Wacha, 4-5, 3.58 ERA. Nats, meanwhile, going with the lefty Foster Griffin. He is 7-2 with a 3.46 ERA. So what have we seen across the market? Well, this game opened Nats listed around a minus 125 home favorite. Kansas City around a plus 105 road dog. And Sharps seem to be thinking, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because Wise Guy money has gotten down once again on the Nationals. We've seen the Nationals get steamed up minus 125 up to now minus 140. So about a 15-cent steam move in their favor. You look at the splits, they look really good on the Nats at both DK and Circa. At DraftKings, Nats are getting 77% of moneyline bets, but 98% of moneyline dollars. You look over at Circa, 71% of moneyline bets, 88% of moneyline dollars. So you have a line move toward the Nats. We got low bets, higher dollars at DK and Circa. That's really the meat of this market movement. Now we get to our system matches. If you're an above 500 home favorite, off a win, and you're priced minus 155 or less, like the Nats here, Those teams are 70 and 43, 62% with a 10% ROI this year. If you're an interleague home favorite off a win priced minus 150 or less and you're receiving line movement in your favor, those teams are 77 and 38 this year, 67% with a 19% ROI. Actually, that's since 2025, so the last 2 years combined. I'm going to bank on the Nats offense hopefully getting to Waka. Washington has an edge at the plate, 422 slug, 399 runs scored. KC, 377 slug, only 291 runs scored. Now, Waka definitely struggled as of late. Let's hope that continues. Hoping the bats of Washington can get to Waka because he has posted a 7.33 ERA in his last 3 starts. Kansas City is 0-6 in his last 6 starts, and they're 2-9 in his last 11 starts. He's also posted a 4.43 ERA on the road versus 2.85 at home. Meanwhile, Griffin posted a 1.64 ERA in 2 June starts. And I think the Nats owe us a win because I believe Griffin started that game where they were up 9-1 and blew it and lost 11-10. So maybe the betting gods will give us this one just for that simple fact alone. But Washington is also 10-4 in his 14 starts overall. So Washington came through for us last night. Looked sharp today once again. Line move, bet split, system matches, better offense, hopefully the better pitcher. And oh, by the way, we have one rhythm recommendation AI model lighting up on Washington, telling us to take Washington. So I like that the AI model also is on the Nats here. So first bet on the board, guys, I got Nats minus 134 at FanDuel. Shop around most books closer now to around minus 140. Let's go Nationals. Next one for you, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch. We got the San Francisco Giants visiting the Atlanta Braves. Now the G-Men 29 and 43 on the year. They just dropped 2 of 3 against the Cubbies, but did avoid the sweep. They won that series finale 5-1 as a minus 135 home favorite. Meanwhile, the Braves 46 and 25, but they also just lost 2 of 3 against the Mets. Lost that series finale 8-1 as a plus 110 road dog. So pitching matchup for tonight's series opener. The Giants are going with the righty Adrian Hauser. He's 2-6 with a 5.54 ERA. Meanwhile, the Braves are going to go with the righty Grant Holmes. He's 4-2 with a 4.05 ERA. Now, what have we seen across the market? Well, this game opened Atlanta around a minus 150 home favorite. San Francisco around a plus 130 road dog. And Sharps, they ain't afraid of this, I would call it moderately expensive chalk. They've laid it. They've gotten down hard on Atlanta, and they've steamed the Braves up minus 150, now up to minus 165, minus 170. Splits look good on Atlanta. At DK, over 90% of moneyline bets and dollars are on the Braves. At Circa, 80% bets, over 90% dollars on the Braves. So big, low bets, higher dollars, heavy one-way split in favor of Atlanta, which coincides with that steam move in their favor. Got a couple of good system matches on the Braves. If you're a rested home favorite coming off a day off and you missed the playoffs the previous year, so the Braves would match, those teams are 19-8, 70%, 20% ROI this year. If you just look at when both teams are coming off a day off, take the home favorite, that system is 48-27 this year, 64% with a 9% ROI. The Braves in particular, 18-6, 75%, 23% ROI off a loss this year. That makes them the 3rd most profitable bounce-back team in baseball. Atlanta, by the way, 9-3 in Holmes' last 12 starts, and he's posted a 3.75 ERA at home versus 4.40 on the road, so he's been better at home. Hopefully he's good here at home tonight. Meanwhile, Hauser, 6.69 ERA in his last 3 starts, and looking at day games, actually, he's got a 3.93 ERA, not that bad, but at night, 7.62. Braves, meanwhile, 22-11 at home. Good home team. Giants struggling on the road, 15-23. So again, minus 150 opener for Atlanta. They're up to close to minus 170 now. So we got steam on the Braves. We got good system matches, good splits. We got the rested favorite and the both off a day off take the favorite. And hopefully we have Holmes greater than Hauser here with the Braves playing well at home. Also, one rhythm recommendation lighting up on the Braves. So we'll take that, put it in our back pocket. So second bet of the night for me, guys. Took the Atlanta Braves. I got a minus 165 at the score. Certainly shop around. A lot of books closer now to minus 170. Even I see one book now, minus 175. But let's go Braves. Last bet of the night. 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch. Let's go right back to St. Louis, where the Cardinals are hosting the San Diego Padres. Now, Cards come in 39 and 31 on the year. Had a huge win for us last night, 3-0. came through as a minus 160 home favorite. In tonight's rematch, the Padres, who are 37 and 43, or 37 and, that can't be right. That's a typo by me. 37 and 43. Hold on one second here. 37 and 34, the Padres. I knew it. I knew they've struggled here, but I knew they were still above 500. But they're going to go with the righty Michael King. He's 4-5 with a 3.46 ERA. Meanwhile, the Cards are going to go with the fellow righty Andre Palante. He is 7-4 with a 3.88 ERA. Now, what have we seen across the board here? Well, this game opened at basically a pick'em, roughly minus 110 odds on both sides. And what do we always talk about? Again, on the pod, we're trying to just look at situations and kind of look at angles and kind of pick up little clues that when this applies, hey, what does this mean? Well, I always mention that when a game opens as a pick'em, the odds makers are telling you, hey, it's basically dead even. However, you got to remember, the wise guys, the sharps, they may not always agree with the sports book. So a sharp sets their own numbers, and maybe they have, based on their power ratings and their own numbers, okay, I got this team minus 120, and they're a pick'em, therefore I'm going to hit them because that's an edge. If the sharp has it right at a pick'em and the line is a pick'em in Vegas, they're not going to bet it because there's no edge there. So in this spot, looks like sharps had the Cardinals favored because the Cardinals, after opening at a pick'em minus 110 at home, we've now seen the Cards get bet up to minus 120. So it tells us smart money is once again going on St. Louis. So I'm going with St. Louis here. Let's do a keg stand, get some Busch Light. But at DK, Cardinals 57% money line bets, 69% money line dollars. Circa 73% bets, 98% dollars. So both DK and Circa are showing a very sharp low bets higher dollar split on the Cardinals to get another win here at Busch Stadium. System matches, when both teams are above 500, which is the case here, just take the team receiving line movement in their favor. That system is 92 and 57, 62%, 12% ROI this year. If you're an above 500 home favorite off a win, priced minus 155 or less, Cardinals match once again. Those teams are 70 and 43 this year. 62% win rate, 10% ROI. And then just generically speaking, home favorites minus 140 or less, they are 200 and 146, 58%, 4% ROI this year. Going to bank on St. Louis's bats, hopefully once again putting up enough runs to score here. They're hitting 246 as a team, 323 on base, 322 runs scored. San Diego only hitting 217, 291 on base, 272 runs scored. Palante, knock on wood, hope this continues, but he's pitched very well in the month of June in 2 starts. He has an ERA of 2.31. St. Louis, meanwhile, is 5-1 in his last 6 starts. And during the day, Palante's not that good. 1-3, 4.94 ERA. But at night, 6-1, 3.33 ERA. Meanwhile, Michael King, he has posted a 6.52 ERA in his last 4 starts. San Diego's 3-6 in his last 9 starts overall. So, game opened at a pick, but sharps moved this number up toward the Cardinals. We have some really good bet splits, system matches. Hopefully Palante greater than King. Hopefully better bats here with the Cardinals. And oh, by the way, popped open rhythm. Had one rhythm recommendation on the Cardinals, but it was also a Green Star Smart Signal lightning bolt recommendation. So AI model really likes the Cardinals here tonight. So add it all up here, guys. I'm going right back to well with St. Louis. I got a minus 115 at Bally Bet. Definitely shop around because most books now are up to around minus 120. So the Nats, the Braves, the Cards. Happens to be what? All 3 National League teams. So let's see if we can get 2 out of 3 and post a winning night, which is always the goal. So that about does it for episode 532 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast powered by Rhythm. This is the part of the pod where we wrap things up. And we always start first by saying thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for grinding in the arena with me every single day through the good and the bad, the ups and the downs, the sweeps, the tough losses. But hey, that's life, that's sports betting. Not every day is going to be great. Not every day is going to be perfect. But we always strive just to grind out winning days. We're realistic about a very difficult market. And we're always trying to make smart bets with our head and not our heart. So if you enjoy this podcast, hopefully you enjoy the insights. Please, could you help me grow this pod? Just do a couple very easy things. They're going to cost you nothing. It'll take you literally a second or 2. Just give this podcast a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes. Recommend the pod to a friend. Retweet the pod when I put it out on Twitter. Click the follow button. Any or all of those things would be awesome of you, and I'd very much appreciate it. Next, if you enjoy this style of sports betting, data-driven, sharp contrarian betting, focusing on line movement, bet splits, system matches, focusing on what the betting market is telling us, picking up on the context clues, taking a contrarian approach, leaning on data and AI models, not our gut instinct and bias, which usually is wrong. If any of that is the case and you want to learn more about data-driven betting, or you got to get a Father's Day gift. Father's Day is coming up this Sunday. You know what Dad wants? He wants you to go to Amazon.com and type in the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook or the Everything Guide to Sports Betting. Pick up one or both of my books for Father's Day. They'll make a great Father's Day gift, and you'll bring him the sports book. I'll sign them for you, and I'll buy you and Dad a beer or ginger ale. We'll sweat some games together. Next, have you downloaded Rhythm and Juice Reel yet? My two favorite sports betting apps. They help me win. They're going to help you win. Rhythm is great for their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. Juice Reel, so many great features. You can sync up your sports books, get a running report card of your action. You can get the Robo Jackson best bet picks, the Sharp Mush indicators, the arbitrage plays, the shop for the best line futures. And you can also support the pod by signing up to get the All Systems Go best bet picks directly from Juice Reel. You download Juice Reel, you click buy, sell, bottom right corner. In the search box, you type in ASG. You'll find me right there, the ASG podcast profile. And if you'd like to support the pod, you can get every best bet pick as soon as I make them, much earlier than when I mentioned on the pod. So hopefully you'll beat some closing lines. You can get them for $9.99 a week or $24.99 for a full month. Or if you really want to be a hero, $199.99 for a full year. So again, this pod is free. I consider, if you sign up to get the best bet picks on Juice Reel, I consider you dropping a $10 bill, $25 into a tip jar, and supporting the pod. And for those of you who already have or are thinking about it, seriously, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Next, and almost next to last, have you given a shot to Odds Logic? Odds Logic is the best live odds page around. If you're a serious sports bettor, you need a live odds page. You got to be able to track the betting market, identify smart money by looking at line movement, of course, looking and shopping around for the best number, and live line in-game wagering odds. It's all there, along with all the major sports books. The odds light up in red when they move. It's such a critical tool. You got to try out the Odds Logic live odds page, and I got a special link for you. This special link is going to give you a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month. And that link is oddslogic.com/Josh123. Make sure, again, it's oddslogic.com/Josh123. That's going to give you the 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month. So that about does it for episode 532 on a big Tuesday of the ASG pod. As always, guys, two final thoughts. One, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, at the Encore in Boston, Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, or in my neck of the woods on the border of Massachusetts and New Hampshire at the Nash Casino, or out in the desert where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweatin' Sharp Contrarian plays jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa. You're going to walk up to me. We're actually going to see each other from across the sportsbook floor. We're both going to knock on the janitor's closet, say, hey, you mind if I borrow a broom for you for 1 second here? We're going to grab the broom, do a little Fred Astaire dance on the sportsbook floor, because that's what you do when you get a nice little sweep. You're going to show me a Cardinals ticket, a Reds ticket, a Nationals ticket. First one's on me, next one's on you. We're going to post about the book, Sweat Sharp Contrarian plays all night long. So as always, guys, coming off a 3-0 or an 0-3, a 2-1 or a 1-2, a great night, a terrible night, a hot streak, a cold streak. We just can't get too high when things are good or too low when things are bad. We always got to have that mindset of just grinding. Flat betting, grinding, 1 unit per play, 3% of your bankroll per play, playing the long game. Marathon, not a sprint. And if we can do that, find the games that fit our model against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, avoid parlays and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So I hope everyone has a great Tuesday night. Me and the wife actually going out to one of our favorite Mexican restaurants tonight because it is Taco Tuesday night, and you can get 2 delicious tacos with rice and beans and chips and salsa for $11. So very much looking forward to that. And hopefully we'll be back in time for me to sweat the Nats game at 6:45. But wishing everybody a great Tuesday. We'll be right back at it tomorrow for a big Wednesday edition. That'll be episode 533 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and have a great Tuesday night.